What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full Sunday of Week 14 NFL football action here on December 7th. I'm going to give out picks on every single game today. We're going to get plays against the spread and a few over-under spots, and I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So buckle up. We have a fantastic video for you today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily videos, and comment down below with anything you're looking at today across the sports world. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injuries and player availability being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we got up to a little bit of a mixed start. It wasn't terrible. We did cash our two player props that we had in the mix. We had Trey Murphy over 3.5 assists there at minus 140. And despite the Pelicans losing that game pretty handily, he does get over this number. And Saddiq Bey also goes over 16.5 points. So cashing our massive lock of the day. So two nice wins there right off the bat. We also had the Atlanta Hawks at minus 8.5. They come through with the 131-116 win there over the Wizards. A pretty comfortable win there behind a 30-piece from Jalen Johnson. We liked what we saw from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and the bench actually came up really big. Luke Kennard, a nice day out there with 15 points off the bench. So the Hawks will definitely take that, and so will we. The Heat laid an absolute egg for us there, getting destroyed by the Sacramento Kings, so we don't love seeing that. And the Minnesota Timberwolves end up playing an extremely close competitive game there against the Clippers, only eventually winning by 3. Jaden McDaniels actually leading the Timberwolves there in scoring. Not what you're wanting to see. Anthony Edwards, a horrifyingly bad night. 0-1 from 3, 15 points in his 37 minutes, 3 of 11 from long range. Yeah, McDaniels, and I guess you have to give the other credit to Naz Reid, really, were the only reasons they were able to come out on top in this game against a Clippers team that's been horrible this season. Harden was absolutely cooking out there. He had a massive day, but just, not enough in the end there from the Clippers to get the win. But the Timberwolves couldn't get the cover for us. So unfortunately, a 3-3 day there yesterday in terms of the video picks. So let's see if we can bounce back in this one. It's NFL Sunday, tons and tons of action out there across the board. So we're very excited to dive in there and break down every single game. So let's go ahead and get after it, guys. First up, we're going to be taking a look here at the Seattle Seahawks as they go on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Seahawks come into this game 9-3 on the season. They're currently tied with the Rams there atop the NFC West and very much close to being tied there with the 49ers. The Seahawks are fresh off that 26-0 shutout win over the Vikings. They've won their last 2 in a row, although they did play a pretty competitive game there in Tennessee. Not exactly a team that you're supposed to be, playing close games against, but we'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously coming off the blowout win there. Sam Darnold was pretty bad in that game, which was weird to see. He only passed for 128 yards, sacked 4 times, but the running game took care of the heavy lifting there on offense. Kenneth Walker III, Zach Charbonnet, both very solid days out there, combining for 108 yards on 27 carries. Also, Charbonnet had a touchdown there. A.J. Barner led the team with 35 receiving yards. That's not what you're dreaming of. We saw Darnold fumble it away once, and Seattle overall turning the ball over a couple times, and Darnold getting sacked 4 times. None of that was a great look, but defensively, they were dominant. They picked off Max Brosmer 4 times, sacked him 4 times, only gave up 66 rushing yards, gave up 0 points, had a fumble recovery as well. So an absolutely dominant game there from a Seattle defense that's been pretty good over the course of the year. They're 3rd in the NFL, giving up only 18.1 points per game. And some very good news here for Seattle on the injury front as well. They are fully healthy on both offense and defense coming into this game. Not something you see every day, guys. A very healthy Falcons team here in Week 14. That is a huge advantage over what you're seeing from most other teams across the NFL. Now, their opponent in this game will be the Atlanta Falcons. They are 4-8 on the season, not killing it. They're fresh off a 3-point loss there in New York, falling to the Jets 27-24. Their only win in recent memory this season, they did take down the Saints, but it's been a rough go of it here for the Atlanta Falcons this season, just not having the year they expected. Obviously, they dealt with plenty of injuries. That's why Kirk Cousins is under center, and he was actually pretty good against the Jets, at least by his current standards. 234 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown, 0 interceptions, sacked a couple of times. Robinson did run the ball 23 times for 142 yards and a touchdown, but none of that was enough in the end as they come up 3 points short. They fumbled it away once, so only that 1 turnover, but overall, not exactly a miracle level day there from the Falcons on offense, but certainly not terrible. And can we really expect them to do way better in this matchup? I would definitely say no. Now, looking at what their defense was able to do, they gave it 27 points, but made Tyrod Taylor look like a starting level NFL quarterback, giving up a passing touchdown to him, a running touchdown to him, and 44 yards on the ground. They really just struggled across the board, giving up 102 receiving yards there to Mitchell. It was just not a good day. They generated 0 takeaways, only had 2 sacks, and giving up 27 points to the Jets is not exactly a great look. And coming into this game, I mean, they're 16th in the NFL, giving up 23 points per game. That's not dominant kind of numbers. And I don't know how excited we're supposed to be about the injury report either, because it definitely looks like here that Drake London probably will not be playing in this game. Didn't practice throughout the entire week, so I'd be pretty shocked to see him going out there to, try and gut through some sort of injury here against a 4-8 team. On defense, they're relatively healthy, but they've lost so many guys for the season that it's not looking great on that side of the ball either. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Falcons are getting 6.5 points or 7. You can find both numbers out there. We've got a total of 44.5. Seattle's 9-3 against the spread. They're 7-5 to the over. Atlanta's 5-6-1 against the spread. They're 6-5-1 to the under. Guys, I'm going to take Seattle here minus 6.5. I know this is likely to be a very big public side, but I mean, I'm still going to side with them here. Get that 6.5 before it disappears. I think this will definitely go to 7, or maybe buy down to 6.5 if you have to. Kirk Cousins, not good. With no Drake London, who hasn't practiced all week, I think he's going to be in for an extremely bleak day. Big get-right spot here for Sam Darnold, who's actually mediocre there in that win over the Vikings. So I think this all adds up to a blowout winning cover here for the Seattle Seahawks. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Bengals come into this game 4-8 on the season. They are fresh off that big 32-14 win there in Baltimore. So that was great. Obviously, seeing Joe Burrow come back and look very, very sharp has to be a big boost for this team. He passed for 261 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, only sacked once, only 1 turnover overall there for the Bengals, and it wasn't from Joe Burrow. Chase Brown had a big game, 15 carries for 78 yards there. Very good work. We liked what we saw from Jamar Chase. Chase Brown also caught 7 balls, but Jamar Chase, 110 receiving yards there on 14 targets, caught 7 of them. So definitely numbers that could, stand to see some improvement here. And we'll see if that actually happens. Defensively, they were great, which is not something you can say about the Bengals like ever this season. Gave up only 14 points, picked off Lamar Jackson once, did not really do a great job of slowing down Derrick Henry, gave up 60 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown to him, but kept Lamar from running the ball too much, didn't let anybody have a big day there in the receiving game, generated a staggering 5 turnovers, 4 of them were by the fumble, 2 of them were from Lamar Jackson, so overall, just a fantastic day there from the Bengals. From a defense that, it was the worst in the NFL, giving up 32 points per game. But there's some good news coming here for the Bengals on the injury front. T. Higgins will be back for this game. They're fully healthy there on offense. You got Joe Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins all ready to go. This is a scary offense. Now, defensively, they've been bad this season. No Trey Hendrickson for this game is not great. But other than that, they're healthy, and they're coming off a big week. So maybe they can put up another solid performance here as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The Bills are 8-4 in the season. They're coming off a big 26-7 bounce-back win over the Steelers after losing there in Houston. They are back home for this one, so that definitely should be pretty helpful. We'll see. I mean, in that blowout win over the Steelers, and it wasn't like a massive blowout, but they did win comfortably. Josh Allen continues to look kind of pedestrian. It just feels like, A, he's not having the best season, and B, there just really aren't many weapons out there for him to distribute the ball to. I mean, he passed the ball 23 times, completed 15 passes, 123 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He ran the ball 8 times for 38 yards and a touchdown as well, so he's putting in some pretty solid work, and James Cook looked amazing there in the running game, running the ball 32 times for 144 yards. So maybe the ticket here will be to just run the ball a million times. We'll see. We'll see if they can actually, buckle down and do that. I'm not going to be super locked in on that being the case. We also have to notice that they were playing against a hobbled Aaron Rodgers, a pretty banged up Steelers team in general. So, I mean, they did generate 1 takeaway via the interception, 1 takeaway via a fumble, and only gave up 7 points, which is great. But that Bills defense this season has been pretty bad. I mean, they're 13th in the NFL, giving up 21.6 points per game, but overall, I've not been thrilled with what I've seen defensively here from the Buffalo Bills. And looking at the injury report, I mean, Joshua Palmer probably not going to play in this game. Dalton Kincaid also very questionable in this spot, dealing with that hamstring/knee issue. And playing in the weather there in Buffalo, I kind of don't expect him to be out there. Spencer Brown's questionable there on the offensive line, and they're going to be missing at least 2 starters for this game. So not a lot of good news there for the Bills. Nevertheless, they're 6-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 53 in this one, so a pretty high number. The Bengals, they're 5-7 against the spread. They're 7-5 to the over. Buffalo's 6-6 against the spread, and they are 7-5 to the under. Guys, the Bengals +6 could potentially be our dog of the day. One major consideration is the weather, which includes definite snow, but not a ton of wind. So getting the ball down the field will be possible, if maybe not the preferred method of moving it. I mean, will Cincinnati win this game straight up? Maybe not, but I feel like they can certainly keep it close enough here, getting a full 6 points. Hey guys, hop in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, college football, and college basketball picks. We're coming off another very, very solid day on the NHL. NHL has been absolutely cooking, printing units here recently, and I've seen all you guys in the comments asking for NHL videos. I don't know a damn thing about hockey or the NHL or anything like that. Thank God we have a team of experienced cappers over there at StumpTheSpread.com, and our NHL capper is absolutely seeing the matrix right now. He's having a very, very good time. Cashed a 3-unit play, a big 3-unit play over there on the NHL side yesterday. You absolutely love to see it. A big, big win there from the Hurricanes. Overall, yesterday, not the hottest day from us on the premium side. Some pretty bad luck there on a few of our college basketball plays. The Pelicans didn't show up for us, but hockey really coming up big. Also some nice wins there on the college football side. So definitely want to get over there and check out those premium picks, especially coming into NFL Sunday, because we are coming off a massive, massive winning week over there on the premium side last week, guys. NFL premium picks for Sunday on week 13 ended up going 5-2 overall. The only losses were that under on that Denver-Washington game that unfortunately just went into just a crazy, crazy ending that game. It should have been an under cashing. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and the Colts let us down. But other than that, it was all wins. The 49ers were a big 4-unit play. That one came through. The Jets +3 at 1 unit, and on the money line at a half unit, both of those came through with the Jets getting the straight up win. We had the under there in that 49ers Cleveland game. That one cashed. And the Dolphins -3.5 as a 2-unit play. That one came through as well. So definitely got to get over there and get on the premium picks for Stump the Spread here for Sunday. You definitely want to get after that, because I am not the premium NFL handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We have a team of experts that covers all these major sports, guys. They put a crazy amount of work, a crazy amount of data analytics, all kinds of work goes into these premium plays, taking a crazy amount of data points into consideration. You definitely want to be getting some of the best intel you can possibly find out there. So definitely consider clicking the link in the description or typing StumpTheSpread.com into your browser choice to get over there and check that out. But you also got to get over to StumpTheSpread.com and check out all the free stuff. We've got a free to use bet size calculator. We've got free picks that are posted over there with big write-ups every single day under the free picks tab at StumpTheSpread.com. We also, maybe most importantly, our free email newsletter. It's our best free resource over there for you for any serious sports bettor. It's very easy to sign up for that email list too. All you do is go to StumpTheSpread.com by clicking the link or by typing in your browser of choice. You click that little green login button. That'll prompt you to set up a free account. All it's going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. You get one email straight to your inbox every single day. And that email is going to have free picks in it every day. That email is going to have, especially on the weekends here, tons and tons of NFL touchdown props like the ones you've been seeing on the screen. Those are the ones that cashed from last week. It's a fantastic resource, guys. You got to get on that email list. All of our free picks in there. Our free pick yesterday on college football cashed. Just a ton of great information. It's free value, and it's very easy to sign up, and you only get one email a day. You definitely want to take advantage of that free email newsletter, guys. It's a fantastic resource. Also, I know a lot of you have been asking for the ability to buy Stump the Spread hoodies. Well, now go to StumpTheSpread.com on your mobile device, and you'll be able to get to the Stump the Spread store, and you can straight up buy one of those hoodies. It can get to you in as little as a week. So definitely want to get in on that. There's free shipping, and they're being offered at a discount right now. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members-only giveaways. And we give away a $50 Stump the Spread hoodie every single week to one lucky channel member. Every Monday, we do one of these giveaways. So tomorrow, the giveaway will be live. Get in on the giveaway. You've got a chance to win a Stump the Spread hoodie. We put the name of every YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel live on the video. Whoever it lands on gets that Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. So definitely appreciate all my YouTube channel members over here, guys. I shout out to all of you. But now let's go ahead and dive back in. We got a ton more games here to cover on a packed day of NFL action. And next up, we're going to look at the Tennessee Titans as they go on the road to take the Cleveland Browns. The Titans come into this game as pretty clearly the worst team in the NFL this season. They're 1-11 overall. They're fresh off a 25-3 loss there against the Jaguars. They did play that weirdly close game against the Seahawks, but overall, it's been a pretty tough road this season for Tennessee. It's been brutal, not going to lie, and that game against the Titans was no different than everything else. Cam Ward was actually okay, completing 24 of 38 passes, but that only netted him 141 yards. He was sacked 3 times, but at least he didn't throw the ball to the other team, so that's good. Tony Pollard, 60 yards on only 10 carries is not a bad day, but when you don't even score a touchdown in a whole football game, I'm not going to have a ton of great stuff to say about you. It was a brutal day out there for the Titans, so they're definitely in a bounce back spot here, especially on defense. Giving up 25 points to the Jaguars is not a good look. Gave up 2 passing touchdowns there to Trevor Lawrence. Couldn't find a way to pick him off a single time. Lawrence has been terrible this year. That's kind of embarrassing. They did slow down the Jaguars' rushing attack, I suppose, but they generated 0 turnovers, gave up 25 points, and over the course of the season, they are 29th in the NFL, giving up 27.3 points per game. Yikes. This team is horrendously bad. They come into this game not too banged up, I guess. I mean, they will be missing their starting safety. He'll be out, but other than that, they're healthy on offense. On defense, they're going to be missing their cornerback, Armour Davis. He's going to be out for this game, but other than that, I guess they're kind of healthy, but that really hasn't tended to matter over the course of the season here for the Titans. They're going to be taking on the Cleveland Browns in this game. Cleveland's only 3-9 on the season. They're not killing it either. They're fresh off a blowout loss at the hands of the 49ers. Lost that game 26-8. Their first against the spread loss at home all season long. So we'll be taking a look at this one. Sanders was actually okay-ish. He wasn't great. 149 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Only completed 16 out of his 25 passes. He was also sacked 3 times, so it wasn't an amazing day, but Judkins was great. 23 carries, 91 yards for him. Very good work there. And the defense, well, it was actually an uncharacteristically bad day at home for this Cleveland Browns defense. All season long, the Browns defense at home has been fantastic. They didn't do that bad. I mean, they gave up 53 yards on 20 carries to Christian McCaffrey, that's not that bad. They only gave up 168 passing yards and 1 passing touchdown to Brock Purdy. That also wasn't terrible. Sacked him 1 time. Didn't come up with any takeaways. So wasn't able to keep this game super close on their own, but it really wasn't that bad of a day. You wouldn't have expected them to give up 26 points the way this game was played. So not hating on the Browns defense here at any point, really. They're 14th in the NFL, giving up 22.5 points per game, but they are a pretty good team, honestly, on the defensive side of the ball. So got to give them credit there. Myles Garrett's obviously a monster. We are worried about a couple injury problems they have here. That offensive line is going to be banged up, going to be missing basically the entire right half of that offensive line. Is that going to matter against the Titans? Maybe not as much as it would matter against some other teams. Now, defensively, we've got Graham and Bush both questionable. That's not great, but as long as Myles Garrett's good to go out there, I think this defense is always going to have a fighting chance. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Browns are 4-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 34 in this one. Tennessee's 5-7 against the spread. They are 7-5 to the over. Cleveland's 5-7 against the spread. They are 4-1 against the spread at home this year, and they are a 500 over/under team. Guys, we're taking the Browns here at -4, and it's definitely going to make the pin comment. There's no shot I'm going to fade them here at home where they're 4-1 against the spread this year. The Titans only came up with 3 points against the Jaguars last week. We do think the Browns defense isn't. We think the Browns defense is going to not have a good day at home 2 weeks in a row. Seems very unlikely to me. I think they're going to dominate in this game. Cleveland in the snow and in 12-mile-an-hour winds. I do think Sanders is going to look a little bit better this week than last week. He's going up against one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I think this all points to the Browns probably winning this game by around a touchdown to 10 points. Rolling right along, we got the Washington Commanders going on the road here to take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Commanders are 3-9 on the season. They're having a real rough time. They've lost, what is it up to now? 7 in a row. They're coming off that 1-point loss against allegedly very good Broncos team. We'll see how that plays out down the stretch, but it went into overtime, and that was all of Marcus Mariota at the helm, and we are not going to be seeing Marcus Mariota in this one. It's going to be Jaden Daniels, unless he gets hurt again, then we'll see Mariota, which honestly isn't looking like that massive of a downgrade. He played great against a very good Denver defense. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, but passed for almost 300 yards. Also ran for 55 yards. It was really kind of a solo act. Him and Zach Ertz were out there. I mean, I guess Terry McLaurin had a good day too, and Debo wasn't useless, so I take it back. It wasn't a solo act, but he played really well in this game against a big-time defense. So got to give him major credit. They do go for 2 in that game and not get it, so they do lose, but overall, a great performance there from them offensively, and defensively, they were okay. They came with an interception, a sack, only gave up 1 passing touchdown there to Bo Nix. Really shut down that Denver rushing attack. That was pretty impressive stuff there. Didn't come up with a ton of takeaways, just that 1 interception, so not enough to get the job done, but overall, the Commanders' defense this year has been pretty bad, but you can only do so much when the offense is putting you in such bad shape. But now they're getting healthy. They're getting a lot healthier in this game. The offense is the healthiest it's been in several weeks, especially having Jaden Daniels back under center is a huge deal. And defensively, the only question mark is whether or not Bobby Wagner is going to play there at middle linebacker. And if we see him out there, sounds like you're going to have a fully healthy Washington defense as well. So they could be in pretty good shape here going on the road to take on these Minnesota Vikings, who come into this game 4-8 on the season, losers of 4 in a row. They're fresh off that 26-0 beatdown at the hands of the Minnesota Vikings. Max Brosner under center looked horrifyingly bad. I doubt we'll see that happening maybe ever again in his whole life. The running game didn't get going. I mean, Justin Jefferson has to feel like he's in hell right now. Like, he's probably the best wide receiver in the NFL, and he's just stuck with terrible quarterback after terrible quarterback. They put up 0 points, so the offense was terrible. Defensively, they gave up 26, shut down the passing attack, but I mean, they're going to be facing a whole different scenario here going up against Jaden Daniels. And, the running game got a ton done against them. So not a banner day there for the Vikings defense that's been not that great this season in general. I mean, over the course of the whole year, they're 18th in the NFL, giving up 23.5 points per game. But they've laid some eggs. That is absolutely for sure. And coming into this game, we see the whole left side of the Vikings offensive line banged up. They are going to have J.J. McCarthy back under center. I think that is not that big of an upgrade over Max Brosmer, to be honest. I don't think he's very good. I think he's going to have a hard time. The defense is going to be missing Theo Jackson. Other than that, they're healthy. But like I said, they haven't been great this season. So looking at the numbers, the Vikings are actually getting a point and a half at home. We've got a total of 44 in this game. Washington is, they're 4-8 against the spread. They're 6-5 to the over. Minnesota's 4-8 against the spread, 7-5 to the over themselves. You could maybe talk me into over 44 in this game. I don't think that's crazy, but better than that, guys. I'll just take the Commanders here, -1.5. Jaden Daniels confirmed back for this game. As much as we love to see that, this is still more of a bet against J.J. McCarthy, who I've been wanting to fade all season long, and basically all year long, I've been proven right. Also, I'm more than happy to fade anybody that's in a video that's nearly as cringy as that weird look we saw him giving in the locker room in that one viral video that's been all over the place. Next on the docket, we've got the Miami Dolphins going on the road here to take on the New York Jets. The Dolphins come into this game 5-7 on the season. They've actually won 3 in a row, so it seems like they're turning things around. When your wins are over the Saints by 4, the Commanders by 3, and the reeling Buffalo Bills, I'm not going to throw you a parade. Let's see what they can do here on the road. Now, against the Saints, they played a weird game, honestly. Tua was terrible. 157 yards, 12 of 23, 1 interception, 0 touchdowns, and sacked 4 times. A-Chain won them that game, guys. 134 yards on 22 carries and a touchdown mixed in. He wasn't actually that active in the passing game, but we didn't hate what we saw from Darren Walker and Jalen Waddle. But overall, it was just A-Chain winning them this game. The defense was also good, although given what we're seeing the Saints put on the field, I'm not that impressed by the defense. They came with 4 sacks and an interception and a fumble recovery, so enough to get them the win in this game. And they're 5-7 on the year, so maybe not terrible. The defense, though, 19th in the NFL, giving up 23.8 points per game. I'm not throwing you any parades for that. Now, the injury report, they are pretty healthy there on offense. Aaron Brewer is questionable there at center. That could be a problem. Tua obviously has to be protected. We'll see if he's able to play through that ankle injury. The defense, though, is fully healthy. So we'll see what they do here on the road. They're taking on the New York Jets, who at 3-9 on the season are not having a great time, but they are fresh off a 27-24 win there over the Falcons that we liked a lot, and our premium handicapper definitely liked a lot. He took them on the money line in addition to taking them +3, and it paid off nicely over there for our premium members in that 27-24 win over the Falcons. Tyrod Taylor, I mean, the dude just looks awesome. He just goes out there and covers numbers. That's what he does. And he got the win in this one. 172 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks, no interceptions. He also ran the ball for 44 yards and a touchdown on 8 carries. Breece Hall had a decent day, 68 yards and a touchdown on 19 carries. Overall, I mean, Mitchell had a great day. Caught 8 out of his 12 targets for 102 yards and a touchdown there. Like, a very good day for a pretty mediocre, generally speaking, Jets offense. There's a reason that Tyrod Taylor has been made the starter for this team. It's because he's the best quarterback option they've got, and I don't think it's particularly close. Now, defensively, they gave up 1 touchdown and 234 yards to Kirk Cousins, but didn't come up with an interception. The concern is how dominated they got by Robinson there in the running game. They gave up 142 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. That's a concern here. You're about to go up against A-Chain. We'll see what happens here in the weather. That could be a big difference maker for the Jets. Their defense over the course of the season, 27th in the NFL, giving up 26.3 points per game. Does not fill me with optimism. But the injury report does. They are fully healthy here on offense. And on defense, we do see Tony Adams there doubtful at safety, but other than that, they're healthy and ready to go. So look at the numbers. The Jets are getting a full field goal in this game. We've got a total of 41.5. The Dolphins are 6-6 against the spread. They're 6-5-1 to the over. The Jets are 7-4-1 against the spread. They're 7-5 to the over. Guys, I think we got to do it again. I think we got to take the Jets here at +3. The Dolphins are going to be the public side in a big way. The weather isn't going to be terrible, but 40-ish degrees and sunny with very little wind isn't exactly what Tua and company are used to. And we have seen weather really impact them in a big way over the course of their career. Tyrod Taylor, guys, he's 7-0-1 against the spread in his last 8 starts. I'm more than happy to back a guy the way that he is playing. Rolling right along, we're looking at the New Orleans Saints going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Saints come into this game 2-10 on the season. They're fresh off a 4-point loss there in Miami. And yeah, it's been a pretty terrible season for the Saints. They're making a run there at potentially the worst record in the NFL if it wasn't for the Titans. We're not loving what they're getting in terms of quarterback play. I guess it looked okay there against the Dolphins, but I don't have a lot of great things to say about this Tyler kid. We'll see what happens, but it's not looking great. The running game's not looking good. They're definitely not at full strength. They're resting guys that I think could allegedly be playing right now. They're not doing a good job of taking care of the ball either. And I mean, 17 points against the Dolphins, I'm not impressed. Now, defensively, they did slow down Tua, although I think it was more of a case of Tua being terrible than anything else. They had zero answer out there for A-Chain, and that could be a big problem here going up against a Buccaneers team that is not afraid to run the ball. Over the course of the season, the Saints are 22nd in the NFL, giving up 24.5 points per game. Not looking great, and they really don't have anything to play for. Obviously, they should be losing these games. The injury report coming into this one is bleak. Kamara definitely out. Olave, I mean, I'd be a little bit shocked to see him play in this game. He's questionable with the back issue. I guess he's going to suit up, but like, why? Like, what's the point? You're trying to lose at this point. Going to be missing at least one offensive lineman, and they're going to be missing their starting safety there in Justin Reed. So not a lot of positives for the Saints here as they head to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers, who are 7-5 on the season. They're coming off a desperately needed 20-17 win there over the Cardinals. The big news for Tampa Bay is honestly that they're getting healthy, but I mean, they did get that win there. Baker was good, 18 of 28, almost 200 passing yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. He was sacked a couple times, but it was a big deal to see him run the ball. Ran the ball 6 times for 27 yards and looked pretty confident out there. Bucky Irving getting back after it, 17 carries, 61 yards, and a touchdown for him. We liked what we saw from Chris Godwin Jr. Emeka Abuga looked good as well. Like, very good to just see this Buccaneers offense get out there and get after it. Now, defensively, giving up 17 points to the Cardinals is not a bad day, but they did give up 300 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns there to Brissett. They did pick him off once, and they did slow down the running game, but I mean, I guess 2 turnovers isn't a terrible day, but I haven't loved what I've seen from Tampa Bay on defense this year. They're 23rd in the NFL, giving out 25.1 points per game. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The last time they faced the Saints, they won 23-3. The injury report here for Tampa Bay, that's the big deal. Bucky Irving, Emeka Abuga, Chris Godwin Jr. all healthy. They are potentially going to be missing their starting left tackle, but that's certainly not for sure. And defensively, they're fully healthy as well. All of that adds up to them being big favorites in this game. They're 8.5-point favorites at home. We got a total here of 41.5. The Saints are 4-8 against the spread this season. They are 9-3 to the under. Tampa Bay is 5-7 against the spread. They are 6-6 to the over/under. I am going to lean towards the Buccaneers here at -8. Tampa Bay is finally fully healthy with Bucky Irving, Godwin, everybody ready to go. They've had a week under their belts. They should be, ready to get after it. Defensively, they're healthy too, so everything's pointing in the right direction. The Saints are very banged up on both sides of the ball. They're incentivized to lose at this point. We'll see if they can lose here in spectacular fashion. Next up, guys, we got a very interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. How the mighty have fallen. The Colts have now lost 3 out of their last 4 games, falling 20-16 there against the Texans last week. Wasn't a great look overall. I mean, Daniel Jones was fine. 14 of 27 isn't good, but 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions is fine. Jonathan Taylor kind of got back after it. 21 carries for 85 yards is not a bad day, but for him, it's not amazing. We didn't love really anything we saw in the passing game. I mean, I guess Pierce had 4 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown, but it was not an amazing day out there for the Colts offensively, only putting up 16 points, albeit against one of the best defenses in football right now. So we'll see if they can bounce back here. Defensively, the Colts had a good day against C.J. Stroud, picking him off once, getting a couple sacks in there, but they did give up 276 passing yards. Their rush defense wasn't terrible, but the Texans haven't been great at running the ball this year either, so I'm not ready to throw them a parade for giving up 108 yards on the ground on 34 carries. They did only let Nico Collins catch 5 out of his 10 targets, so that was good, but did give up 98 yards receiving to him, so that's not great. And the Colts, I mean, their defense over the course of the year, 9th in the NFL, giving up 20 points per game. They come into this game looking pretty healthy. I mean, Sauce Gardner being out does suck, don't get me wrong, but they are relatively healthy out there, and offensively, they are fully healthy and ready to go. So that is a huge deal as they head to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars, who somehow are 8-4 on the season. It's absolutely nuts to see this happening. Their last 3 weeks have all been wins, taking down the Titans, Cardinals, and Chargers. I mean, the win over the Chargers, I guess, looks good. They won against the Cardinals by 3, and everybody's beating the Titans. So let's not freak out too much. We'll see what they can do in this one. Obviously, everything looked good there against the Titans. Even Lawrence played okay. 16 of 27, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 sacks. Not a bad performance. The running game didn't actually do that much, so it was mostly Lawrence throwing them to the win. Jacoby Myers, a big game for sure. They didn't turn the ball over, but that is not something you can count on from the Jaguars. That's them going against the worst team in the NFL. What are they going to do here against a very good Colts team? We'll see. It is a big pressure spot, too, obviously. I mean, this is a massive, massive spot in the AFC South. So we'll see what happens. Defensively, they dominated the Titans last week, but their defense has not been dominant this season necessarily. Giving up 21.1 points per game isn't awful, but when you look at their strength of schedule, the teams they've had a good time against, the teams they've had a bad time against, it all gets a little bit sketchy. And looking at their injury report here, probably going to be missing their wide receiver 3 there in Parker Washington. We'll definitely be missing Walker Little there on the offensive line. And defensively, they're banged up. There's no question about it. They're going to be missing at least 1 starter, potentially up to 4. The secondary and the defensive line are both in pretty bad shape. So both of those things are a big concern taking on the Colts. The Jaguars are getting a 1.5 here at home. Total of 46.5 in this game. The Colts are 6-4-2 against the spread this season and a 500 over-under team. The Jaguars are 7-5 against the spread. They are also a 500 team. Guys, I mean, it looks like the Colts are going to be healthy there in the secondary, so I will be backing Indianapolis in this one as a small lean. This isn't going to be going in the pinned comment. The public's probably going to be pretty big on the Colts in this one as well, so I don't love it. You could talk me into this maybe being a Jacksonville spot with how bad the Colts have been recently, but I'm just not loving. I can't back Trevor Lawrence in a pressure spot. So give me the Colts in this one, but as a tiny lean. Rolling right along here, guys. We're looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The Steelers are 6-6 on the season, coming off back-to-back losses and losses in 3 out of their last 4. So life has not really been treating them too kindly. There's all kinds of weird drama swirling around the team right now too about the head coach and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens in that, kind of blowout loss against the Bills. Aaron Rodgers didn't look great. Obviously, he's very banged up, and we did see him get sacked once. Didn't throw any interceptions, but also didn't throw any touchdown passes. The running game didn't get going. It was just a bleak day out there for the offense. They turned the ball over once via the fumble and once via Mason Rudolph throwing it to the wrong team. So overall, just a terrible no good day there for the Steelers on offense. And defensively, they haven't looked good this season. Didn't look good in that game, giving up 26 points. I mean, I guess on the plus side, they picked Josh Allen off once, but they did give up 249 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. That's rough. That is not a good look. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. But like I said, it's not been looking very good. They come into this game, with some injury concerns on defense for sure. Going to be missing at least Harmon there on the defensive line and Duggar there in the secondary. So that's a problem for sure. They're technically healthy on offense, but we know Rodgers is not at 100%. And it also seems like he's pretty unhappy with his wide receiver group right now. That is another lingering or looming issue. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road. They're taking on the Baltimore Ravens, who are 6-6 on the season. They're fresh off of that loss against the Bengals, but this team continues to get healthy, and that is a step in the right direction. At 6-6, they've got a lot of work to do. I mean, they are tied right now with the Steelers. Technically, they obviously own the tiebreaker, I would say, but they don't own the tiebreaker. They just haven't, played each other yet. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes down the stretch. 2 games still to go against the Steelers. Now, last week against the Bengals, we were seeing a shell of Lamar Jackson is what it felt like to me. He did throw the ball 32 times, completed 17 passes for 246 yards, but was picked off once, sacked 3 times, and just did not look like himself there athletically. Now, Derrick Henry had a big day, 10 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown, but the defense fell off for sure, and they just couldn't concentrate on the running game the way they, I'm sure, would have liked to. Defensively, the Ravens looked a bit better. Now, they didn't look better against the Bengals and their elite weapons, including Joe Burrow, but, I mean, you're going to have some days where you have give up some points against a team like that, for sure. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them here. Over the course of the year, the Ravens defense is 21st in the NFL, giving up 24 points per game. But in their few games before that, albeit against some pretty bad opponents, the defense had looked excellent. So we'll see what they can do in this one. They come into this game looking very healthy there on offense. We do expect Lamar Jackson to be more healthy for this game than he was the game before. No reason to think there were any setbacks. And the defense is healthy for this game as well. So look at the numbers. I'm not shocked to see the Ravens as sizable favorites here over the banged up and, just very, very rumor, happy Steelers right now. The Ravens, you can get them at 5.5. You might have to do minus 120 to get them at 5.5, but I do think that's worth it. We've got a total of 43 in this one. The Steelers are 5-7 against the spread, 6-6 to the over/under. Baltimore's 4-8 against the spread, 7-5 to the over. I'm going to lean towards the Ravens here at -5.5 a good bit. They are significantly the healthier team in the spot. Playing at home is certainly an advantage. The defense for Baltimore has gotten better over the course of the season. I know they're coming off a bad week, but the Steelers are not nearly as good offensively as the Bengals, not even in the same stratosphere. There's all kinds of drama going on right now in this Steelers franchise surrounding Mike Tomlin and all that kind of stuff. The defense has been pretty bad. They're going to be missing at least 2 starters. I think this is definitely a spot to go ahead and back the Baltimore Ravens. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Denver Broncos going on the road to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Broncos are 10-2 on the season. They've been killing it lately, albeit against a pretty easy schedule. They're coming off that crazy 1-point win there over the Commanders. That was a wild game. They had a chance to cover in that one. Then all of a sudden it was like they were going to lose straight up. They eventually win by 1 point after Washington fails there on that 2-point conversion. Bo Nix doing Bo Nix things, 321 yards passing, but 1 touchdown and 1 interception, and getting sacked once. Didn't do anything special in the running game. Denver in general didn't do anything special in the running game. Evan Ingram and Courtland Sutton both had decent days catching the ball, but not a banner day, and definitely not a banner day for that offense. They gave up 26 points against a backup quarterback, gave up 2 passing touchdowns and almost 300 yards to the air to Mariota. Also let him run the ball like crazy on them, so definitely not a monster day there for the Broncos whatsoever. Zach Ertz had a huge day against them as well, so definitely a bit of a bounce back spot here for the Broncos on defense, where they've been one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, they're 4th in the NFL, giving up 18.2 points per game. So that's pretty nuts. That's pretty nuts. We'll see what they can do here. I mean, they come into this game looking fully healthy there on offense. That's a big deal. They will be missing DJ Jones there on the defensive line, but other than that, the defense is very much healthy and ready to go too. So things are looking good for the Broncos as they go on the road to take on the Raiders, who are 2-10 on the year. Another team making a run at that worst team in the NFL spot. They're fresh off a 31-14 blowout loss there against the Chargers. I mean, really nothing was working. Geno Smith, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, sacked 5 times, only completed 18 of 23 passes. Genty not having a good day running the ball. Brock Bowers, I mean, that guy has torched a lot of fantasy lineups this year, but I mean, 2 touchdown receptions last week and 63 yards makes up for some of that, but a rough day, and the defense was terrible. Gave up 31 points, couldn't stop Herbert, couldn't stop the running game, only generated that 1 interception. It was just a bleak day out there for the Raiders, who are looking like a bleak franchise right now. They're super banged up, going to be missing at least 1 starter, could be missing 2 guys there on the offensive line. So the interior of the offensive line is very banged up, and when that's happening against the Broncos, that is terrifying. They could also be missing 3 starters there on defense, could be potentially missing Max Crosby there, probably their best player on the entire team. Dealing with a knee injury, sounds like he's going to play. I don't really know why you would risk it at this point for the Raiders, but hey, going to do what you're going to do. So looking at the numbers, the Raiders are getting 7.5 points at home. We got a total of 40.5 in this game. Denver's 5-6-1 against the spread. They're 8-4 to the under. The Raiders are 4-8 against the spread, 7-5 to the under themselves. I do think this is a good spot to back Denver at -7.5. I know it's a lot of points for a team that's pretty inconsistent, but I think this is a spot where they really get the job done, pile up a bunch of sacks. They're healthy on offense, mostly healthy on defense. The Raiders have a lot of injuries. I think Denver is one of the worst 10-2 teams I've ever seen. So I'm a little bit leery about this, but I do think the Broncos to cover this number in this spot against this opponent makes an awful lot of sense. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Bears heading to Green Bay to take on the Packers in a massive NFC North showdown. The Bears are 9-3 on the season. They've won 5 in a row, a lot of them in pretty spectacular fashion. They're coming off a 24-15 win there in Philadelphia, taking down the Eagles. A crazy one there. Caleb Williams, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 154 passing yards. But yeah, the running game just went freaking nuts there for the Bears. As a team, 47 carries, 281 yards on the ground, and 2 rushing touchdowns. That was some crazy smash mouth offense there by the Bears, and they just bulldozed their way to the win in this game. The defense also looked very good. They slowed down but didn't stop Saquon. They slowed down but didn't completely stop Jalen Hurts. Did pick him off once, but sacked him 0 times. But they came with a fumble recovery, and yeah, it was in the end, it was just enough. The Bears do get the job done there. A very, very solid win, and at 9-3 on the season, they find themselves somehow, someway atop the NFC North. Very, very crazy work there. Obviously, this game will mean an awful lot in terms of, sealing that. They come into this one relatively healthy on offense with the big exception there of Rome Odunze. He will be out for this game. We will also see them missing one of their starting linebackers, but other than that, they're healthy, so not too bad of an injury report for this point in the season. They're taking on the Green Bay Packers, who are fresh off a huge 31-24 win there in Detroit, taking down the Lions, so that's a big deal. Reed coming off the IR. He's going to come back for this game. I don't know how big of a difference that makes. We'll have to wait and see. But in that win over the Lions, they played great. Honestly, I don't have a lot of negative things to say. Jordan Love, the game of the season for him for sure. 4 passing touchdowns, 234 yards. Also picked off and sacked 0 total times, so he wasn't getting pressured or anything like that. And Josh Jacobs was doing a great job on the ground. Overall, a very good game. 0 turnovers. You throw 4 touchdown passes, you're usually going to win. And the defense gave up only 24 points against a decent but banged up Lions team. So got to give them credit where credit is due. Although they didn't really stop the run and they didn't really stop the pass. So I'm not giving you credit for a monster day when you don't do either one of those things and give up 24 points. Over the course of the season, the Packers are 6th in the NFL, giving up 18.8 points per game. So I got to give them a lot of credit, but they also have played a pretty mediocre schedule overall. So we'll see what they can do in this one. They are at home. They are 6.5 point favorites. We've got a total of 44.5 in this one. The Bears, they're 8-4 against the spread. They are 6-5-1 to the over. The Packers, 5-7 against the spread, 6-6 to the over under. Guys, I'm taking the Bears here, getting 6.5 points. These two teams are very good at playing to the level of their competition. The Bears do the same thing the Packers do here. Caleb Williams, I'm not that against backing him, although I'm not in love with him. This is a very public side, but there's no way I can't back them, with how inconsistent the Packers have been. I mean, I don't know. This is going to be an insanely cold game. Also, 17 degrees is what's being reported. No one's going to be having fun out there, and I think getting nearly a full touchdown here on the Chicago Bears make this a very, very reasonable play and one that we will be considering for our dog of the day. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we've got an NFC West showdown between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams and the Seahawks and the 49ers are basically all tied atop the NFC West. The Rams really let one get away, losing 31-28 there against the Panthers last week. Stafford was pretty bad, got picked off twice in addition to his 2 touchdowns, sacked a couple times as well. Blake Corum and Kyron Williams did a great job in the ground game. Maybe the Rams need to concentrate a little bit more on that, but when you've got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams and Xavier Smith, who had a massive day, maybe you want to be throwing the ball, I don't know. But the defense is what really imploded. They gave up 3 passing touchdowns, only had a couple sacks there against Bryce Young, gave up a ton to the running game as well. A really bad day defensively for a Rams team that comes into this game still 2nd in the NFL, giving up only 17.5 points per game. So we'll see if they got to bounce back in them here. I mean, they are fully healthy on offense. Going to be probably missing Darius Williams there on defense. That's not great, but if you're going to be missing a guy, maybe missing him against the Cardinals isn't the end of the world. So we'll see what they do here on the road against Arizona, who's only 3-9 on the season, so having a pretty bad time. Over the last 3 weeks, or last 4 weeks, they've lost all 4 games. They played close ones against the Jaguars and Buccaneers, but lost by 21 against the 49ers and by 22 against the Seahawks. So they can definitely get blown out by some conference opponents. We'll see what happens here. I mean, against the Buccaneers, they played okay and wasn't exactly the A team overall there for the Buccaneers. Brissett was fine, but not great. The running game was fine, but not amazing. I just don't have a ton of crazy great stuff to say about the Cardinals right now. I mean, they're starting a backup quarterback. Bam Knights put up some good performances there in the ground game, so I'll give you credit for that. But over the course of the season, they are they're 8th in passing yards. They are 20th in points per game. I'm not in love with what I'm seeing from Jacoby Brissett right now either, so we'll see what they can get done here. The injury report looks pretty bad. Marvin Harrison Jr. is still out. Xavier Weaver, questionable for this game. We'll see if he actually ends up playing. Sounds with a hamstring issue. He will not be playing, and they could be missing 2 starters there on the offensive line. That's bad. And defensively, they're going to be missing at least 2 starters, one defensive lineman, 1 guy in the secondary. So that's a lot of bad news, and that's a big part of why they're getting 8.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 47.5. The Rams are 8-4 against the spread this year. They're 7-5 to the under. Arizona's 6-6 against the spread, 7-5 to the over. I'm not interested in the total here, but I'm very interested in the Rams at -8.5. More than happy to back them in a massive bounce back spot here coming off that loss in Carolina. The defense should get right here for the Rams, and Stafford, of course, should get back on track. Arizona's been terrible in the NFC West lately, getting destroyed by the 49ers and Seahawks only a few weeks ago. They're also missing at least 4 starters, potentially 5 starters for this game. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Sunday Night Football matchup between the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Texans are 7-5 on the season, only 1 game back of the Colts and Jaguars for the top spot in the AFC South. They're fresh off a huge win there in Indianapolis, getting that 20-16 win over the Colts. I mean, bonker stuff. CJ Stroud was, he passed for 276 yards. That's great, but he was also picked off once and sacked a couple times. The real, force behind this offense to me kind of felt like it was the running game with Marks and Chubb combining for 100 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. So not a bad day. Nico Collins also ran for a touchdown in this one. Nico playing well. That's obviously a big deal for this team. They did score 20 points, not something you see from them every week, but the real strength of this Texans roster is their defense. They gave up 16 points in this game. They've been the best defense in the NFL this season. They slowed down Jonathan Taylor, slowed down Danny Dimes, did just a fantastic job out there despite not forcing any turnovers. So we'll see if they can keep things rolling in the same direction here. I mean, they're first in the NFL, gave up 16.5 points per game. So a lot of positives for them, especially defensively. They're fully healthy on offense. They're almost fully healthy on defense coming into this game. It's about to be a pretty big test, though. They're heading into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, who are fresh off that 31-28 loss to the Cowboys there on Thanksgiving. Not great. Bad news there for the Chiefs, honestly. Like, they just haven't really had the season they imagined. They're 6-6 overall, which is far from where their expectations were coming into the season. But if they're going to make the playoffs, it is put up or shut up time. The season is winding down. Time for a bit of a bounce back. Now, Mahomes actually had one of his better games there against Dallas, putting up 4 touchdown passes and 261 yards to the air without being picked off. He was sacked 3 times, but ran the ball 3 times for 30 yards. Kareem Hunt was fine in the ground game. Like we saw from Rashee Rice, like we saw from Xavier Worthy. We didn't mind at all what we saw from Travis Kelce, although I felt like he probably should have got some more targets in that game. I don't know, but overall, it was a good day offensively. The defense just got shredded. They did pick off Dak once, but gave up 320 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns. They couldn't stop the running game there of Dallas either. They had no answers for CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens. A rough day there for the Chiefs defense, which in general has been good this season. Like, they're 7th in the NFL, giving up 19.3 points per game. They are definitely a top 10 defense. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. My big injury concern here for the Chiefs, the whole right side of their offensive line is banged up. That is trouble going up against the Houston Texans. Defensively, they are fully healthy, and I think they can cause all kinds of problems there for CJ Stroud, Nico Collins and company, but yeah, there are some injury question marks here for the Chiefs. They are 3.5-point favorites in this game here at home. We've got a total of 41.5. Houston's 6-6 against the spread. They're 8-3-1 to the under. The Chiefs, they are 5-6-1 against the spread, 8-4 to the under themselves. Guys, I will take the Texans here getting 3.5 points, but it's not my favorite play on this game. My favorite play here is the under. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game. Always going to be leaning towards the team getting more than a field goal when I think it's going to be a super low-scoring game. CJ Stroud doesn't get me super excited. That defense is so good. I'd rather just hop on the under here than anything else. And I believe there's some slight weather concerns for this game. I don't think the weather is going to be crazy cold yet, but 25 degrees is pretty freaking cold. So yeah, go ahead and let me roll with the under here and don't make me get too involved here on the side. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link or typing into the, your search engine to get to stumpthespread.com and check out all the free stuff we offer over there. Check out the plethora of premium picks we're going to have posted over at stumpthespread.com for this NFL slate. Get on that free email newsletter as well. Check out the store if you're interested in buying a hoodie, and we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.